Join the stars of the Ancient Aliens TV show, Erich Von Daniken, as he returns to Manchester after an amazing response to his last presentation. David Childress will guide you through the evidence left behind. Mike Barrow will take you to other worlds, where Nick Pope will present the real X-Files. Paula Harris will share incredible testimonies. It's time to believe and raise consciousness. Join like-minded souls on Saturday, June 23rd, 2018 for Awakening. What do you believe?
Hey guys, and welcome to another edition of The Moore Show. I'm your host, Kevin Moore, and for the next hour I'll be covering subjects that will open up your mind and provide you with information you may have never heard before. Now on today's show, I'm about to be joined by my guest, Louise K. Now she's a channeler and joins me from Amsterdam, where I was filming my documentary They Call Us Channelers, in which she is a participant of. Now just to give you a bit of background on Louise, she has over 10 years of experience exploring the realms of spirituality, holistic healing modalities, and Reiki level 1 and 2. And she's also trained in the quantum healing hypnosis technique discovered by Dolores Cannon. Now she channels Aikon, a ninth dimension Pleiadian collective. She offers private sessions and group events for people all across the world. So enjoy my interview with Louise. Hey guys, well I'm currently here with Louise K. Louise, welcome to the show. It's great to have you on.
Thank you.
We've just done our bit of channeling, your bit of channeling for the documentary just earlier on. So thank you so much for doing that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm really excited to be part of the documentary. Thank you for inviting me to be part of that project.
It's beautiful, right? You know, when doing this, you're not too sure exactly what to expect when it happens, because I've said in this documentary that I'm going to make the questions, they're sort of going to be channeled. And what came through today was really beautiful, in the sense of how simplistic it is sometimes, the answers and truths that we're looking for. How that really, all that matters is now that we've got. Now is so important, and I also like what came through as well, in the sense of, you know, it got me to ask myself what I thought I was, who was I, and to think of it from the perspective of in the end I answered, I think I'm love. That's what I am. That is something I'm going to take on this journey with me. That reminder. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Now, just for the audience, let's just go into as well just a bit of background about yourself as well. I think that's important. So, we've said this in the documentary, but we'll restate it here as well. So, in your background, there was nothing that was really out of the ordinary in the sense of spirituality or anything like that. You had a pretty normal childhood?
Yeah, pretty normal. Just, I guess I was more sensitive than the average child. Yes, and that's something you say now, that you're a sensitive person even now as well. Yeah. And I think that's part of the reason why I'm able to do the work that I do. Yeah. I was just about to say, you took the words out of my mouth, and that's exactly why you're able to do what you do, right? If you didn't have the sensitivity, I don't think this would be quite the same, do you? Yeah, I think it's part of what allows me to access this other dimension or realm or whatever it is that's happening. It seems like something in my system is open in some way. Right. And I think the sensitivity is part of that package.
Absolutely. You know, when I'm looking at you, right, I'm just looking straight in your eyes, right? And that's almost like the connection to the soul, isn't it?
They say the eyes are the window to the soul.
Yeah. I feel sometimes when I'm looking someone too much in the eyes, I'm like, am I staring them out? But you're not, are you? Do you know some people, they get so violent on the street sometimes, don't they? When you looking at me, mate? And you're like, well, yeah, I was, but what's wrong with that? You know, it wasn't anything, nasty.
For me, it's so beautiful to have the opportunity to connect with someone and really meet in the moment. Because so often we interact with people and our mind's somewhere else. We're thinking about what we're going to say next. We're not even fully listening to what they're saying. Or we're thinking about what to make for dinner. We're kind of half listening. And we're looking away. We're looking what's going on around. But just to be fully present and really meet someone, and more than look in the eyes, feel in my own body what is happening in my experience right now as I connect with the person. And many times I feel that I can feel the person in me.
Right. Like a oneness aspect.
Yeah. Like, rather than seeing the other person just as an external object, if I drop my attention into my body and rest my gaze on the person, so I'm not intently staring, it's more of an inner experience, and I'm tuning in to my own inner world, how it feels in my body, noticing my breath, and it creates this kind of space to meet from something bigger, something beyond the personality of Louise and Kevin.
What do you call it?
Really, this thing, it's not even a thing, it has no name. It could be called oneness. It could be called our true nature, divinity. But any label or name that you give it, it's limiting it. Because it's bigger than anything.
Yeah. Is love a good word for it?
Love is a beautiful word for it.
Feels that way, don't it? Yeah. It does feel that way. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that. No, it's with you. It's a very calming presence. So I'm almost like, okay, this is keep on track here. Okay, so.
And you can also take a moment just to feel this calmness, this inner connection, this peace, because we're so programmed in a way to rush to the next thing, and people become uncomfortable with silence and stillness.
That's exactly how I've been today. Do you know that? I'm like, ooh, can I just be silent for a minute? And why not? You're not that comfortable with the silence, are you?
Yeah, once we allow ourselves to feel that initial discomfort and relax into that and feel the contractions or whatever is present, our attention drops into something deeper. And it's this vastness, this stillness. And it's always there.
Yeah.
Just we focus our attention in a different place. We take our attention away from that. We focus on our thoughts, on what's happening around us.
Right. Could you have silence in an interview? I suppose you could.
I would really love to invite people just to take a moment and drop into that silence, and it's not a kind of sleepiness. It's more like an alert presence, listening to the sounds that maybe we didn't notice before. Everything becomes intensified in a way, and relaxed, intensified. So we become aware of what we didn't notice. We become aware of our heartbeat, of our breath moving in the body, of all these little nuances happening.
Yeah, totally. And that's a way in, even though I'm talking here right now, we could do silence, but that's a way in to connect to the true you.
And the greater power. There's some divine intelligence, and this is how we access it.
Just through that silence. Is that too simple?
That's it. It's so simple that most of us, we miss it. And we think that no, I must meditate for years and years because I have to work to get something that's valuable. And these are distorted beliefs. It's really accessible right here, right now, to all of us if we just stop and become still. And it's so simple.
Yeah. And so beautiful.
Yeah. What more do we need than to rest in this space of love? And we're on this crazy searching for what will make us happy, with ideas of what will bring fulfillment, relationship, money, a job, this experience. And yeah, they bring us happiness, but it's always short-lived, and then we're looking for the next hit. We're never fulfilled. But what if we could be happy right here, right now, just with this moment as it is?
It is a pretty beautiful moment right now. I mean, what a great time we're having, you know. It's been a nice day. It's been a really nice channeling. I can't say yesterday evening was too great for me because I felt so ill, right? But today, being here, it's just this moment now is beautiful. If that's all we have is right now, isn't it?
Yeah, and every moment can be beautiful.
Yes. Yes. Even in our pain.
Even in our pain. It's the resistance to the pain that creates the suffering. When we surrender to the pain that's here in the moment, and fully surrender, not surrender in a way that's, okay, I'm going to surrender so that I feel different, but just surrender in a way that's fully accepting this moment as it presents itself.
Yes.
Many times what happens in that absolute surrender is the situation will change or not, but we'll find some underlying peace. There can be intense physical pain,
yes,
and at the same time there can be a feeling of bliss, joy and peace.
Right. You're a beautiful soul. I just want to say that. That's the feeling I get, the energy I get from you. But I think...
Thank you.
You've been through a lot though, haven't you?
Well, I guess it's relative, you know.
Yeah.
If I compare myself to people there's so much suffering on this planet. People who've been through war, famine. I feel I'm very, very blessed with the life that I've lived. I can say on my own personal spiritual journey, I've had many challenges and I've faced darkness and pain inside myself. Yeah.
And there's no free ticket.
What's a free ticket?
As in, we don't have to experience any of this stuff. We can just have it easy.
I think everyone has their own personal journey, and some people have bigger challenges than others. Maybe it depends on your karma, your situation you're born into.
Yeah.
Everyone is unique, but I think everybody is experiencing exactly what they need to experience for their own personal growth.
So everything that you've been through personally has shaped you to this moment now and will continue shaping you.
Yeah.
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 Do you regret any of it, having to go through what you've gone through?
Not 1 second.
Okay, that's good. That's a good answer. Yeah. And do you think some of us do? Most of us do?
Well, I can't speak for other people.
No.
You'd have to ask them. I personally have no regrets because I feel that every challenge, every difficulty has been an opportunity for me to learn more about myself and grow and develop.
And I guess where I'm coming to with this, right, is from your own teachings to the channel teachings that you've been through. Have you had to embrace the teachings, or at least try them out? You know, learn from your teachings. Are you living your teachings? I guess that's where I'm coming.
Absolutely, to the best of my ability. Everything that Aikon shared during the channelings, I'm putting it into practice in my own life. Aikon
being the channel, the entity you channel group.
Yeah, they're ninth dimensional Pleiadian collective that I channel, and they share techniques and guidance for people.
Yeah.
So I've really tested it out in my own life, and for me it's brought amazing transformation, so I fully believe in it.
Yeah.
And the people that I've worked with so far, I've also witnessed them experience really amazing transformations. So I feel very blessed to be able to share Aikon with people and support them in their own inner healing.
And again, we'll link your YouTube channel up in the description. You've got many, many videos that you've been doing, and you're going to continue doing as well. And that's how, you've kind of got yourself out there on YouTube as well, to demonstrate what you've been doing. So I think that's important that people just check those videos out. There's a lot of information. I mean, we can only cover so much in 51 minutes here. We're going to do our best to go around the house here a little bit. So thank you for what you've just shared there. So just going back to growing up, so everything, quite a normal, average kind of childhood, growing up in the UK in Blackburn, was it? Yeah, Blackburn, yeah. So it's nice to be with someone that's from the UK as well right now. That's cool. But you're not living in the UK. You're based here in Amsterdam right now.
For the moment, I've actually been traveling around the world for the past 3 years, and I do my channeling wherever I go. I work with people on Skype, which means I can work from anywhere. And I also do group events. So there's one coming up in Paris in January. That's the 5th to the 7th. The City of Love.
Excellent.
And we're going to start the new year with Aikon and with transformation. So I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And that's on your website, those details, where you're going to be events-wise. Yeah, so you keep everything up to date on there, And I guess that's where your work's going to go more, I would have thought, into events and sort of being with... I mean, the channelings will always be there on YouTube, but I mean, you're going to probably do more events, aren't you?
Yeah, I hope so. A lot of people are finding my videos online, and they're asking, when are you coming to my country? Because it's amazing to watch the videos, and I think people really get a sense of the energy, but it's something altogether different when you're sat next to the energy of Aikon and you're directly interacting with them in person.
Yes.
It's brought many people to tears. It's very powerful.
It's beautiful.
The frequency is very loving, and
I got to experience Aikon earlier on, and actually I've got to say, impressed, very impressed. Really did enjoy what they had to say, and sometimes it was so simple, right?
Yeah.
But then it was always that simple was, we make it complicated, don't we? Us human beings do things the hardest way. That's what my channel always tells me. Yeah, and actually sometimes it's and actually I felt a resonation with everything you had to say, because it's kind of what's come through the one as well that I've been channeling, what you were bringing through, and I was like, ooh, I've heard this before. And it's so beautiful to hear it in your way as well.
Yeah, it's like this truth expresses itself in a different way through different people.
Absolutely, and it's not. And how do you feel about that? Is that do you feel that, oh well, then that makes me more validated in what I'm doing because it's coming through others the same way?
I'm not really looking for validation from anybody. I'm just sharing my perspective, and when I channel, I'm sharing what Aikon share, their perspective, and I tell people, if it resonates for you, that's great, and if it doesn't resonate for you, that's great.
Yeah.
And I think it's great that we have all these different people that are channeling in different ways and sharing information in different ways, and we can pick and choose what works for us. It's amazing.
Yeah, we went for something to eat just earlier on, and it's important what you said, that there cannot just be one teacher. There has to be many. And I think I said, well, if there's one teacher, I think it'll become a cult, wouldn't it, in a sense, right? Or that's the standard for a cult. But yeah, many teachers, many truths. But all these truths all go back to the one thing, which is love. That is one of the main truths here. What Aikon said as well was that, if you want to change the world, change yourself.
Yeah, they talk about that a lot, how the outer world is actually a reflection of our inner world. So if we look within and embrace the pain and the darkness and meet what's inside us with love, many times our outside situation will change to reflect that back to us.
Yes. Is there any times when you've been channeling and you've been a block sometimes? We all do this, right? But where it's just been difficult for you to bring certain information out because you're not ready for that truth? Or has it always been a case that when newer truths come out, you're like, well, I'll accept it, but I'm going to have to look at this as well?
My experience is not that there's truth and then newer truth and newer truth. My experience is that there is how to put into words, the relative truth,
yep,
which is changing, and the absolute truth, which is the unchanging. Okay. So it depends which one you're talking about, but I've noticed that when I'm channeling, if somebody asks a question that's about my personal life, many times it's more challenging for me to allow that information to come through, because my mind kind of interferes with my own personal take on it.
Well, you've done very well today to let that personal information come through and to just be honest and candid, and that's great that you can say that. Yeah, I think what's good with yourself is that, you know, if you can just be as you are, transparent about what you're going through or have been through as an example, I think that really helps people to see that transparency, that, you know, they're not on their own then. And because we see channelers sometimes, some people, you know, as, you know, oh, they're here to save me, or, you know, it's someone to be addicted to or something like that. Well, we're not after that, are we? There's no addictions that we want, even though, you know, some people go to an Eckhart Tolle event and they'll be like, oh God, how many times have you been to this Eckhart Tolle? 5. And how many times? I've been 6. That makes me better. Isn't that, you know, do you know what I mean? They get so addicted. You know, there's that kind of talk goes on at an Eckhart Tolle event, right? We try to avoid that, don't we? That we don't, I mean, or do we say to people, right, you be the power that you want to be, and if you know, if you want to keep coming to see us, then do, but really, you know, what we do is try to help people find their truths. Is that what we're trying to do?
Yeah, what I would say to people is that I feel that I would like to, I'm offering an invitation to support them in their own personal journey and get in touch with their own inner knowing, and support them in meeting their own inner shadows and holding that in love, and creating a space of unconditional love where what wants to be met can be met, to integrate into the system. And if somebody watches my channeling videos, usually what happens is they tell me, I saw your videos and I just knew. I had this feeling in my heart. It resonates. I need to work with Aikon. And it's very clear for them. And they contact me and they experience a big transformation because something in them knows this is what I need.
This is the teaching for them.
Yeah.
And as well as other people resonate with other teachers for them. But it's just so beautiful how it's, you know, once you live your truth like you are, how it provides for you as well. For those out there that may think, you know, could I ever do something like this, or I'm in that stage where I don't know what it provides. It does provide, but you've got to believe in yourself. You've got to say, look, you know, I do believe in this truth that's coming through, and I do value what I'm doing, and this is this, and I'm going to go forward in this. I'm the worst for it, or, you know, is it true? Is it not? You know, I've stopped all that now. But when I was in that phase, it was self-destructive.
Yeah, many times we can let the opinions of others hold us back, or our own self-judgments. And if we don't pay attention to these sabotaging thoughts from the mind, or we don't care what other people think of us, and we just decide to align ourselves with the higher truth, and make that really the priority in life, and act on what's exciting for us, my experience is that there's some magic in the universe that will absolutely align to support you. And I would say just go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what you've done. Because, you know, without getting too personal, you know, you've had even, you know, some family that's like we've said, I don't know, but, you know, that have kind of tested, you know, been a test for you. You love them to bits, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that, but it's the hardest, isn't it, when the people that you love the most, that you just could do with that support, right? But then again, maybe what's happened has made you even stronger, so there are no mistakes.
Yeah, I absolutely believe that everything is a blessing.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Okay, well, just moving this on. I know we've just got so much to talk about here. You became a teacher, in your early 20s, and then what happened then? Something changed in you, in a sense, from wanting to be a teacher to doing this work. What was that journey? If you could just be very brief.
Yeah, it started with spontaneous ESP experiences, extrasensory perception, if people don't know what that means. So I started coming out of my body and flying around, and I started to see energy around people and look at them and see their past lives, and it made me question, what is this reality? What is going on? And I started to research. I started to read books and research on the internet, and that opened a whole can of worms. There's so much information out there, and I didn't know this world existed before. So I was hooked. I was watching video after video. Wow, learning so much. Life isn't what I thought it was, and it took me on a kind of personal journey, which one of the turning points I would say is when I went to India, and I went to a very special place on the river Ganges at the foothills of the Himalaya.
Beautiful.
And I had the awakening experience there, and it changed my life. It changed how I perceive reality, and it was very clear to me that I wasn't going back to teaching.
And do you think the teaching was there to open up that box for you, or tick a box where you was like this, comfortable in public speaking? And
I think I learned a lot from teaching. I developed a lot of skills communicating with people and talking in front of groups. So it was easy for me to start channeling in front of people because I didn't have to overcome that kind of shyness. I was comfortable already speaking in front of people.
And on this journey as well, you would have probably got into conspiracy theories to begin with. There's nothing wrong with that. But
I explored that a little bit.
Well, you met David Icke, didn't you, as well? Just briefly, outside Tesco's, I think.
Yeah, I did. I bumped into him one day.
Because you was living out there, wasn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I lived on the Isle of Wight for a little while.
I think, and I've said this as well in other interviews, that nothing wrong with conspiracy theories, but I think there's never a solution. That was always my issue with it. That's why I got into spirituality. There was never a solution. So spirituality always gave, the solution was me. That's what spirituality said, right? But I think we all go through the path that you've been on. That's a normal thing, isn't it?
I think many people go on similar paths. Some have a kind of spontaneous awakening, and that can be really challenging because they really don't know what's going on. It's like the world falls apart and there's no support. So that can be very challenging. But I think most people have more of a gradual awakening, and now it seems to be growing and growing. And I think thanks to the internet, a lot information is spreading like wildfire, and there's yoga studios popping up at every corner, organic health stores. I really see this shift happening.
Do you think there's a possibility we've left an old timeline and we're now on a new timeline as a collective conscious?
Absolutely. It could be, yeah.
Yeah. That might be an interesting... We're going to do some channeling in just a moment as well. But with Aikon then, what's Aikon's main message, would you say? If you could sum it up, what that would be?
I'd say their main message is one of love, of getting in touch with your own inner guidance and understanding that all the answers that you ever need can be accessed within you, and they support people how to very simply get in touch with that. They support people how to align with their life purpose and create a life by create life that is their full potential. let's say. Many times people have some blockage that's holding them back, and they explore these blockages with people, and then after that they go for it.
It's more of, and it's also get my words out here. They want you to be the power. They want you to take responsibility.
Absolutely, it's not some kind of magic fix. Like, I'll do a session with Aikon. They'll tell me everything I need to know. They'll fix all my problems. No way.
No,
they're there to support people, because they say that if they did that, actually, it would be disempowering for us, and it would be telling us, actually, you're not capable. You need us, and they don't want that kind of relationship with us. They want us to meet them as equals and step into our own power and know that we can do it. Whatever we want to create, we can create. And they want us to get in touch with our own divine nature, to stop identifying with this mind-created self.
Do you think once someone had a reading with Aikon, or whatever phase in their journey they're coming to Aikon to, obviously it's obviously divine. There must have been maybe this was meant to happen. Maybe they was meant to have this meeting with them. But do you think it changes people in the sense that they wouldn't go back to old patterns? I mean, once you've had gone through something like an awakening, and you're getting a reading with yourself, for example, is it easy to slip back into old patterns, or do you think once there's something within people where even if they do slip back, they never go too low. They're always going to go back up to a newer level, hence where they were before? Or
I think many times what happens is that there is a shift and a recognition and an understanding, and then the old patterns try to creep back in. And it's almost like a test. And sometimes we fail the test, and then we fall down and we get up again. And we do it again, and we get stronger each time. And when we recognize, this is the old pattern, I'm not going to choose that, I'm going to choose what I know is my truth now, then it's like we pass the test, and we know for ourselves, I've changed. We can see it in our own life. And it really builds our own confidence and belief in ourselves.
I get the feeling with you, sorry to say this, but I just, you have changed. I get that feeling that had I come to see you a few years ago, it would be so different.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've changed immensely.
I don't know why I picked that. I said that in the documentary, I think. I just get that feeling that and you made new friends, new colleagues, you've met people on the same level. I always say, if you want to meet someone, right, the best place is just to do more that which you love.
Yeah, absolutely. And they call it the law of attraction, I think. And I can't talk about this. They don't call it the law of attraction.
Do they not? No.
They just say what you focus your attention on, you're going to bring more of that towards you. So be mindful of where you focus your attention.
Be mindful of where your thoughts go as well. If you're thinking about negative things, sometimes I think we can think about negative things. It doesn't mean we attract them in our life, but I think there's an energy that comes with that.
I think with thoughts, it's beneficial to observe all thoughts and not identify with any of them, really. Just recognize that it's a phenomena. It's coming and going. It's coming and going. And what it is that's noticing those thoughts. Turn the attention to that.
What is it that's noticing those thoughts? Well, that's
that creates some space between the thought and the observer of the thought.
What's been your answer to that? of what that is?
My experience is that there's a stillness. I think I spoke about this at the beginning.
It comes back to that, doesn't it? Full circle.
Unchanging, pure awareness out of which everything arises. And it's, to give you an analogy, it's like a TV screen, and the movie is playing on the screen. So the screen is still, and the movie is moving.
Right,
So life is moving, but something is still.
It's difficult to put it into human words, isn't it? What this is, this isness, this I-ness, this love, this infinitiveness of what we truly are.
Yeah, it's something to be experienced, to have a direct experience of it, and then there's an absolute knowing of it. It's not just a belief or an idea.
You know, I said in one of my interviews that I think atheists are some of the most spiritual people. They're kind to others, they're kind to themselves, they're loving. They're just in denial of what it is, but they are, you know, decent people, a lot of them, that just want good things. Yeah, I'm not pro-atheist. I'm just saying, you know, sometimes it can get a bit messy in spirituality sometimes, can't it? Because we're always trying to get attached to ourselves to labels, aren't we?
Yeah, it can become also dogmatic, like a religion.
Yes.
If we identify with the idea of being spiritual, then it's no different from identifying with the idea that I'm a Christian or I'm a Muslim or whatever I am. That's the mind-created story. And we're all carrying these stories around with us. What happened in the past, who I am, what's going to happen in my future. But that's not who we are. You can't find this thing. It's imagination.
So what do we use the word spirituality for then? I mean, I say that, you know, people say to me, what's your background? I say, well, I'm more spiritual than religious. But I don't even agree with the meaning of spirituality in the dictionary, let alone trying to make up my own understanding what it is.
For me, spirituality is the path to truth and
that's nice.
Living every moment
That's nice.
Aligned with the highest truth.
That's very beautiful. Do you know what I was going to say there? I'm a channeler. That'd be my name. Let's forget spirituality. Let's use channeling, and everything you said there is what channeling is. Could channeling be its own new version of spirituality? I don't know. That's a crazy question, but could it? Could we come up with something new? New truths.
I think any label that we give something, we're creating separation, and we're creating a box to put a new belief system in.
So what could we call that? What if we're not going to use human labels? What could it be? That's the hard thing, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Most people want labels, don't they?
Yeah, I would invite people to go beyond labels, go beyond naming of everything. Imagine, just for a moment, that you're new in this world. You don't have any language. You don't have any belief system because nobody's taught you this is right, this is wrong, this is your religion, this is your nationality. You don't have any concept of what your personality is. You don't have any name. Throw that all out the window. What is left?
Yeah. It comes back to love, doesn't it? That would be my version of it.
It's pure awareness.
Pure awareness.
Simply the feeling I am.
I am. And I've said to myself recently, okay, I now understand why people say I am or I'm pure awareness. That's just another word for the soul. And the soul, to me that is. When you're trying to name what this is, they are probably better names what you've said. But when I've used the word soul before, that's what I've meant. I would compare them to those names. But it's more than pure awareness. It's more than I am. It's maybe, like some people have said, it's unnameable.
Yeah, because if you give something a label, then you're limiting it.
Yeah.
It's just a pointer,
okay.
A signpost.
Okay. No, I like it.
And an invitation to question and look within and ask yourself, who am I?
Okay.
What am I?
Well, what about the people who go through life, and I've said this in other interviews, who never question any of this?
That's also a valid experience. I think it's like something becomes ignited in a person, and I don't know why it happens to some people. It's like the fire of truth starts to burn, and they start to question. They want to know more. Maybe they've put all their efforts into finding an amazing partner, and they've got a great job, and they've got money, and they realize, actually, I'm not happy. They told me that these things would bring me happiness, and now I have everything, I'm not happy. So they're seeking something more. There must be more to life than this. And many times that can turn people to the inner exploration.
So you're saying that even these people that I've said they're potential people that never would even look at this subject, there's a point in their life, maybe even on their dying breath, even like when they would say, is there more? That would be a private moment because we won't know because they're just passing at that point, but they may, even at their last moment.
I think many times when people are close to death, they start to reflect upon their life because they're faced with death. It's imminent. And also I think when people experience immense suffering in life and they feel absolutely hopeless, it can be a catalyst to turn to spirituality, to seek some deeper meaning.
And what about the people that say, well, there is no deeper meaning to it, it is just what it is, so accept it? Could we even, what I suppose, are we talking about those people as well?
Well, I'm not really out to convince anyone of anything or to make anyone start to question. If people are interested and they want to know more, I think it's wonderful, and I feel that I want to support them in that. And if people are very happy in their life, I say go for it. Don't question anything.
Yeah, no, that's great that you've got there. Thanks for just taking us there. Yeah, don't question anything, just get on with it. And that's just as valid as well. All experiences, when they go back home, I'm guessing they're all really important experiences to the collective.
Yeah, everybody is experiencing what they need to experience on their journey.
Yeah.
And if people can open their minds and start to question the purpose of life, the meaning of life, to reflect upon their actions. How is this affecting the planet, what I'm doing? How is this affecting other people? It's a beautiful thing.
And even the hardest souls that have done the most terrible things here, we all probably go back to the same place. We are all that same energy.
Yeah, my feeling, and also what Aikon says, that ultimately there is only one, and this one is expressing itself through many different physical beings, and also animals, and also plants. It's the consciousness in everything. And
was there nothing better to do on a Saturday night than to have this experience? I mean, we were just a bit bored, do you think? And we thought, well, as a oneness, let's divide and let's have this experience. Let's get ourselves on a holographic deck and let's forget everything and let's just go wild for the night.
I don't think
let's
consciousness
create rap music and rock and roll like and everything else, and everything else, drugs and everything else. let's have a good time.
I think you see, this would be thought, and from the space of pure consciousness, there is no thought. So it's more a movement of creation.
Wow, that's heavy. That's heavy stuff, yeah. A movement of creation, and, but the side effects of that movement of creation is all this. But then, I guess that's all good, isn't it? I guess it's all good. It's not a bad movement of creation, is it?
There's,
look out the window.
There's everything. There's so much
pretty cool,
beauty, and there's also so much suffering.
Yeah. Yeah, is suffering a movement of creation? Or movement of
everything
creation?
Is.
Everything. That doesn't take away blame, does it? Or that doesn't take away responsibility, because, a soul has free will. It doesn't have to carry out what it's going to do. It's still got the free will in that moment not to do a thing that's going to harm others or itself. But it chooses to do it anyway, most times. Well,
it's an interesting question. The question of, are we really choosing anything?
Yeah, it got to this in the documentary, didn't it? Where in the end it was almost like it as the higher self was choosing, which you are your higher self, but the higher self sees the bigger perspective picture of everything. That's why it's making the most informed choice. And what did it call this aspect? It was almost like a lower self, was it? No, or was it? No, it wasn't like that. Was it something like that?
We could say it like the mind or the egoic self.
Yep.
If we're identified with that, and then we're making decisions in life from that space, it's not in alignment with there's not really words to describe this, so I'm just going to do my best.
That's fine.
And if people listening to this,
No,
the words are not important, so bear with me. The words are limiting. If we disidentify from that mind-created self, that egoic self, and we surrender to the greater power, and we take a step back and just drop into the heart, then this divine intelligence can move through us. And it's more like an allowing rather than a doing.
Yeah, that was it. And that's still living your passion, your purpose.
Absolutely.
But yeah, you're still doing what you love to do, but you're saying, you take care of this. This is what I want. This is what I'm so passionate and I love, and I'm going to do it. But whatever happens, I'm just going to stay in present moment. And yeah, I'll plan things. I'm not saying I won't plan things, but you know, whatever's going to be the best for me in this passion that I'm living will be the best for me. I'm not going to get lost in, you know, I will only be happy when I have that over there, living this passion.
Yeah. I think it's important to get in touch with our own inner guidance system and be able to feel what resonates. And when something aligns for us, when something enters our life, if it feels, this resonates, this feels true for me, to act on that. And if it feels off, or if it's coming from the egoic mind, if I do this, I'll get something. I can use this person to get something for myself. It will increase my status. Then that's not really the highest truth.
I suppose you could apply that to relationships, isn't it? You know, you might have a few people that you're interested in or you like, but you're like, well, which one would I really? Who is it I should go for? It's confusing. You know, who does?
It's a nice luxury to have the choice.
Well, yeah, that takes time. That does, yeah. Time and yeah. But then, you know, though you could have that problem, couldn't you? Right? Maybe that's, you know, my problem. But it's the same thing, isn't it? It's like I have to go with. Well, if you can't make a choice on something, then maybe you shouldn't go on anything. You should just flow.
I think if we just stay still and stay quiet, everything has a tendency to work itself out. And often, if we're trying to control, or we've got this energy like, I need to do something, I need to change this, and we react from that energy, we start to create karma. And we start to create repercussions and drama in life. And life gets very complicated.
Yeah.
Many times it's better just to stay still,
Yeah.
Relax into the now, breathe. And there's no problems here.
And then whatever's going to happen will be. Whatever will be. And, you know, in the thing called time, you may change your mind and become more centered on what it is you're looking for.
Yeah, and then we don't need something from the outside to fulfill us, because we already got our fulfillment from within. We're already whole and complete and just happy just to be. And everything that comes is an extra gift.
Yes, I think that's the way you got to look at it, you know, and what does come, just be in the present moment with and enjoy that time without trying to put an attachment or label on it.
Yeah.
I'm getting it. I think. No, I am. That's cool. I like that. Thank you. This is why I like the teaching. It's so simplistic in one sense, but it's so like aha, come on, you've known this all the way along, but sometimes we don't always want to listen, do we, to what we know. Okay, well, listen, I hope that's helped some people there with what we've talked about. It's very difficult sometimes to, try to do something different and try to just, provide something for people that's going to be what they need to hear. But they wouldn't be here if it was wrong. This is what they needed to hear, which is a nice way of looking at it. So let's speak to Aikon. Okay. I'm really actually quite grateful because I was just speaking to them on the documentary. So to do this twice in a day, I didn't think about that earlier, and I was like, oh, well, that's it. Now they've gone. It's the end. But yeah, I'll let you tune in and.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. I'll see you later. Hello, friend. Hello. We're so happy and excited to connect with you and to communicate with you in this way today. We're here to offer your guidance, our support, our perspective on any issues that you wish to explore and discuss with us. So if you have a question for us, please go ahead.
Aikon, thank you so much for coming back through again. I guess in your time, it was just a second ago that we were speaking?
Yes, we do not experience time in the way that you do, so we're here on tap for you.
And when I speak to you, I'm not speaking through... This is beyond time and space.
Yes.
As we understand it. And just remind the audience, where are you right now?
We exist in what you refer to as the 9th dimension in your star system known as the Pleiades in central sun Alcyon. If you were to go there in a spaceship, you would not find us because we're in a different dimension.
Yes, I've heard that before in different channels. Absolutely, that resonates so much. So, I mean, what is this ability to be able to tap in to this moment in time, beyond time right now? I mean, have the human race always had this ability?
Are you talking about channeling?
Yes. Has it always been around since the dawn of man or time?
Yes, it has always been around. It's just that now in your more recent years, it's becoming more widespread, commonplace because of the shifting consciousness that you're going through. Your systems are opening, your DNA is changing, you're transforming, you're upgrading as a species, and with that is coming this more natural ability to connect and to communicate with and to experience other realms, other dimensions, along with many other things.
And for those who find this on the fringe of even spirituality, what would you say to that? I mean, how could we present this in a way that's going to, meet more people? Or should we even care about reaching more people?
We don't need to care about reaching more people. Those that are ready will find us and hear the information that they need to receive. You're all, each individually creating your own reality. So you're all creating exactly the situations that you need to experience.
Are people able to come to you to ask most questions?
Yes, we don't put any limitations on the questions that you ask us. However, we invite you to come with questions from the heart. When you come with questions from your mind, such as we're not finding questions from the mind. You know what we mean. When you come with questions from the mind, there is not such an opening for the deep transformation within that we feel we would like to support you in. This is what we feel our role is, to support you in inner transformation, to
support you to meet those parts of yourself that you're scared to meet, that feel overwhelming, the darkness within. We're here to embrace it, to bring it into the light, to integrate it into your system so that your system can be a more pure vessel, for lack of a better word. We're not saying that you're not pure now, you're all pure beings. We've forgotten the question. We get off track sometimes.
No, I like the fact that you didn't put a label just there on...
yes. Questions from the heart.
Because I think by not doing that, that allows people to come with you with free will rather than...
Yes.
I mean, and we, me and Louise had this conversation where, you don't want to be, forcing any truths or have addictions to you with this type of information neither.
Yes, we don't want to create a relationship of dependency with you where you feel that you don't know anything and we have all the magical answers and you're just going to ask us and we're going to tell you what to do in your life and we're going to fix everything for you. That is not going to happen because we're not here to be your mommy and daddy. You're not babies. We're here to empower you in recognizing that you have access to all the information you need to know within yourself. And we're here to support you to get in touch with that information. And then you will be self-sufficient. You will know what to do. You will be sure of yourself. You will fully step into your power as divine beings.
Absolutely. And are most people channeling throughout their normal waking day?
At times, when you find yourself that you're doing something and you're lost in time, for example, you're painting and you lose all sense of time and you're fully present in the moment, your system is open to allowing the higher consciousness to flow through you. And this is a form of channeling, as are many times when you're doing sports or when you feel very present and still and clear. And in that moment, you speak some words that have some extra power. They seem to have some divine power encoded in the words. It's because they are aligned with truth. They've come from a higher source, not from the limitations of the mind.
No, absolutely. When people look at this and we look at the subject, let's just talk about contact for just very briefly, right? I've said to one person, I don't believe that contact physically will ever happen for hundreds of years. And they turned around to me and said, well, that's your reality. That's the reality you're creating that to be. Yeah. But has contact happened anyway with an experience like this?
Yes, we would perceive this as a form of contact. Right now, you are communicating with what you would refer to as extraterrestrial beings. And many beings on your planet have experienced physical contact and they're sharing these stories and it's becoming more widespread, it's becoming more accepted. And slowly, it is entering the consciousness of the people in a very gentle, natural way. And when it reaches a tipping point, by that we mean it is a comfortable reality for 50.0001. The moment it goes above 50%, then things will change very fast and very quickly. You will begin to experience as a collective becoming part of the galactic community. And there are many species, many beings that are excited to welcome you into this community. And they're observing intently how you are progressing, how you are shifting, changing. It's very exciting. We and many others consider you our family.
There is a lack of information scientifically on how this works, this phenomena. For me to be contacting you through beyond time, beyond space as we understand it, well, maybe it's a lack of our understanding of the nature of reality.
Yes, your scientists, they're slowly, they're catching up. And what you will find happening is that the world of spirituality and the world of science will become closer and closer until at one point they merge. And that is when your understanding of the nature of reality will really make a great shift. Because right now, spirituality and science are, although very close and similar, they're experienced as separate in your reality. With the studies of your quantum physics, your scientists are starting to get a taste of oneness, of how you are all connected, of how things are, how you are affecting your reality.
So when I speak to you then, I'm speaking to myself.
In a way, yes.
Why have I forgotten? And have I forgotten you?
Do you remember us?
Yeah, that's a good question back. I'm starting to. I really am.
We can't tell you what you have forgotten or what you remember. You can only know that for yourself.
Why is my higher self doing this to me then?
Nobody is doing anything to you. There is not some invisible higher self that is doing things to you. It all depends on where you focus your attention.
Yes, well, right now it's with you, and it's with this amazing journey that I'm going on right now. It's with love. My attention is love right now, more than I give it credit for, really. You got me earlier on to narrow down what do I think I am, and I came up with the words love, and that seems to be as high a version I can get of what this is.
And now you must deepen your connection with that love, which is your true nature, by turning your attention there, not to get lost in your mind and your thoughts or in the physical world, but to connect with the dimension of consciousness, which you refer to as love, which transcends all physicality, which is always here. It just depends if you turn your attention to it to notice it or not, whether you experience it.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
With me having a conversation with myself right now, let me just focus on well, I guess one could say that we chose to have this meeting right now, that we chose to have this experience.
It is happening.
Yeah, it is happening. You know that we talk about, some of our spirituality talks about that we choose certain situations when they happen, but with the free will that we can walk away from that situation happening, but we've kind of planted the seeds for it to happen. Do your teachings go into that kind of thinking? Or that?
We prefer to divert you away from thinking, because the phenomena that is happening within humanity is overthinking. It's become a disease. You're thinking. And we want you to stop thinking and start feeling. We want you to bring your attention from up here, down here, into the body. Feel in the body. And when you allow yourself to do that, you will experience a great relief, because all this thinking is creating so much stress in your life. Take a break, take a relax from your thinking, and be still, be quiet, be silent. From the space of silence, when you tune in and allow yourself to feel what is present in the body, anything you need to know, any information you need to know, will naturally rise up. And it will be very clear to you. You won't need to analyze, is this right, is this wrong? Because it will come from a source of higher power. And it will come with absolute clarity and absolute guidance.
That sounds such a beautiful. That sounds beautiful. Oh Christ, have I ever experienced something like that, where I just had that clarity, where I just knew? I think most times we fight it, that no, it can't be.
Yes, the mind kicks in, and the mind wants to be in control of the situation, but it's time for your minds to step down. They're holding you back because you're so identified with the mind, the story, the thought. Leave it alone. It's not serving you.
I think we get scared as well of, what if the rejection's there? What if we fail at it? Or what if...
Yes. Meet all these fears with love. Embrace these fears with love. We honor your fears and your doubts very deeply.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
There's space for them to be here too.
Yeah, are feelings the only true voice? Are our feelings what we should be going on more than our mental?
We would not say they're the only true voice, but we would encourage you to tune in to your feelings, and this will open your system to a new rewiring, we shall say. You're like computer programs, and you've been playing the same program over and over and over again, and the power center is here. And now it's time to deconstruct that program by observing your thoughts. Just notice them. You don't have to stop them. Don't let it get you stressed. Oh no, I'm thinking again, I'm having more thoughts. No, just notice them, but leave them alone. And when you start doing this, bring your attention to the breath and just follow your breath. Your breath will act as an anchor to bring you into the present moment. And throughout the day, tune into your body. Become aware of the feeling inside your feet. How often do you focus your attention in your body and ask yourself, how does it feel inside my hands? How does it feel inside my abdomen? And when you start to do this, you'll notice that there's a lot going on actually, but your attention has been so up here. It's like you're not even in your body. So how can you experience this vastness when you're limiting your experience to that of the mind?
Okay. I'd have to watch some of this again but I do hear you, and I do really appreciate you coming through and the truths that you're speaking. What would you say is one truth for people watching this now that would take them out of any unhappiness? What is the kind of major root cause of most people's unhappiness?
Oh, we like this question very much, and we feel it's a very good question because many of you on your planet are suffering from unhappiness. And many of you are seeking happiness, but in all the wrong places. So first of all, if you are experiencing right now sadness or depression or heaviness or fear or anger, we don't even want to limit this to unhappiness. We will expand this subject to a whole range of emotions. So whatever you're feeling right now, fill in the blank, whether it's positive or negative. And allow yourself to fully feel that experience. So many times when you feel or you experience sadness, you want to get away from it. So you try to numb it by maybe drinking beer or eating chocolate or turning on your TV or checking your smartphones. Whatever it is you need to do, you try to numb it so you won't have to feel it. Or you try to run away from it. But this will simply allow the energy to get stuck in your system, and it will become repressed. And when that happens, it will start many times, the repressed energy will get more and more layers, and it will become, let's say, a ball of repressed energy, and it can't move anymore in the body, and eventually it will manifest into dis-ease. You will have disease in your body. That's where it comes from, energy that's not flowing. So in order to allow your energy to flow and release from the system, you must not judge your emotions. It's not that some are good and some are bad. They simply are. And they come like guests. And all the guests are welcome. And they come in waves. Here is happiness. And there it goes. Here is sadness. And there it goes. You do not cling on to any experience. You simply allow yourself to experience the moment as it presents itself. So if sadness is here right now, take a moment, take a few breaths, breathe in, relaxation, and breathe out any tension in your body. Breathe in, calmness. And breathe out any stress. And just allow your attention to drop into the body. Let yourself become aware of how it feels in the body. The word sadness is actually a label to describe an experience in the body. So get curious. What exactly is this sadness? How does it feel in my body? Where is it located? Tune in and have a look and feel. Maybe it feels like a heaviness, a pushing down. Maybe it feels like a tightness or contraction. However that sadness feels in your body, allow it to be there. Let yourself feel it. Surrender fully to it. Embrace it. Bring it closer. Like you are an explorer, exploring your inner realms. Just curious to know, what is this experience of sadness? What does it feel like? And really, let yourself feel it. Surrender fully to it. Drop into it. Let sadness fill your whole body if it wants to. But not to try to heal it or fix it or get rid of it. Simply to allow it unconditionally. Hold that sadness in love. And when you surrender to it in this way, many times, what will happen if you truly surrender? Not if you do this as a means to an end to get rid of it. If you truly surrender, so you say to yourself, okay, if I experience this for the rest of my life, I'm okay with it. This much surrender. Then, most likely what will happen is that it will shift, it will dissipate, because your system will open. You're no longer contracted and resisting it. And as your system opens, it allows the energy to flow freely through the body and release when it needs to. And if the sadness does not leave in that moment, then it won't bother you anymore because you're surrendered to it, so it won't be a problem.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. That's some deep stuff there. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. You sharing that knowledge or your truth as well. Okay, we'll be getting nearer the end here just a little bit. All right. So let's just go a little bit deep diving here before we lose you. Okay. How old are you? If we were to give you an age, how old is the collective in a sense?
We don't have an age because we do not experience time.
But if just for us in this level right now, and for me speaking to my higher self right now, if that's what I am speaking to, which I feel like I am as one aspect of it, definitely, you've always been.
Yes. And you have always been, and you will always be.
It seems impossible to get my head around that you've always been. There is no beginning, no ending. You just have been.
There is only this moment.
Do you channel to levels above you? I mean, we're channeling you, but do you channel to levels above you?
We are aware of information up to what we would refer to as the 12th dimension. Beyond that, we have not accessed.
Would you have any wish to want to access that level or beyond? Would there be any need?
It does not feel appropriate for us right now.
How much of a step up is the 12th dimension from where you are?
3.
But how much in information-wise would you say, is it quite seismic?
Well, it's all relative.
Yes, it's all relative. I guess when asking that, it's almost like I'm asking my higher self, have you looked into 3 dimensions above you, which you say you have? And it's all relative information that comes through. I'm guessing really, and I'm probably causing this to close off here, but would that be information that would have any relevance for us?
Whatever is relevant for you right now, we are sharing with you. And we thank you for your curiosity, and we thank you for your genuine interest, and we thank you for your open-heartedness, and we thank you for
You're going, aren't you?
your authenticity. Do you have a further question?
Well, I almost feel wrong to ask you.
There is no wrong. Ask away.
Okay. Well,
we might not answer,
no,
but you
that's
can
the
ask.
thing. Yeah. Would there? What? I'm always searching. I love searching for knowledge, right? And I know it's a very mental thing. I can't help it, right? Mental masturbation, right? Whatever, right? But tell us something of what that knowledge, a fraction of just something of something that awaits us, even further knowledge, just something that would just.
We have a question for you.
Oh, go on. Yes.
What information is it
Yes.
that you would receive that would bring you satisfaction?
Oh God! Oh, what a question. To give me satisfaction. Okay. Satisfaction, and I'd never ask again, right? I'm lying, right? Well, that's a good one. What would progress me spiritually quicker as a hack? Something that I could hack.
But stop asking questions with your mind.
Okay. No, I was only joking, right? No. Well, yeah. Okay. If I could go with my heart here and say, well, what could I do that I'm not doing now that would make my life better? What's something that and that would help other people in the answering of?
We like this question. Thank you.
I was kind of forced to ask it, but I'll ask it.
No, we do not wish to force anything upon you.
I'm joking, you know.
Okay.
It's just human joke.
What can you do to enhance your life and that of others?
Yes.
Yes. Observe yourself more. Observe your thoughts. Observe your behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
Slow everything down. Question, why am I doing this? What is my motivation for doing this? What is the energy underlying my wanting to do this? And be brutally honest with yourself. Get real with yourself. Be mindful of what you say to others. And be gentle with yourself. Be loving with yourself. And be gentle and loving with others. Many of you're attacking yourselves all day long, constantly, with negative thoughts. You're bombarding yourselves with negativity and you're buying into it. So there's a voice that's telling you, why did you do that? Oh, you didn't do good enough. And when you listen to this voice, it's a form of self-violence.
Right.
Stop paying attention to the voice in the head. Know that it is not you. It has nothing to do with you. And observe it. As you observe this voice, the truth of your being will begin to blossom, and all that is not true will naturally begin to fall away.
Thank you. And just one final question, right? What would be one message that you'd like to give Louise that would help her right now in this moment?
We like this question very much. Thank you. Know that everything is perfect as it is. She already knows this.
Nice to be reminded, though.
Yes, it is simply a reminder. You are all loved. We love you very much. And we invite you to find the source of the fountain of love from within yourself, because it exists in each of you. And when you stop frantically seeking love and happiness outside of yourselves, you will discover that it was here all along, closer than close, your true nature. This is what we want you to experience for yourselves. This is what we are here to support you in. This is our invitation for you to become quiet, to still your mind, stop giving it attention, to bring your energy more, your attention more into your body, so that you can begin to open to these higher levels of consciousness which you are ready to receive right now. We are here ready and waiting to support you in your transformation. We thank you for your beauty, all of you. We thank you for your being. We honor you very deeply. We love you very much, and we send all of you many blessings, and we leave you now. Dear friends, goodbye.
We'll let Louise just come back in here. And yeah, that was very interesting, what came through there. Hey. Hello. That was very interesting what came through there. Yeah. Thank you for that. And I hope that message at the end helped you as well.
Yeah, it's a beautiful reminder.
Yeah, everything is okay.
Yeah.
Everything is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever's happening, it's all okay. And I think we all need to be reminded of that just sometimes as well. They were quite jokey. I like that.
Yeah, they have a funny personality sometimes.
Yeah, very jokey, which is nice. Laughter, I think, is an important factor in anything, isn't it? Because we don't need to take all this so seriously. I mean, it's very serious the way we work, but I mean, I'm not like this all the time. God, do you know what I mean? And I don't think we need to be like it in the work. But I think sometimes, we just have to get what we're trying to do out in the little amount of time that we've got, and that does take a bit of seriousness. So yeah, I just want to thank you so much for coming on today. Your website is
louiseK.net.
Okay, and that's available on the lower third as we've been speaking on this interview, so it's been coming up on the screen. Well, Louise, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me on the show. It's been really fun, and thank you for allowing me to share Aikon with you.
Thank you. Blessings.